Picture this. You spend weeks, maybe even months, crafting the perfect website. You pour your heart into it, hit publish, and crickets. No traffic, no buzz, just digital silence.
Ouch. Yeah, that's every website owner's nightmare.
It's the ultimate letdown, right? And it might just be that your site needs, well, a checkup. That's where the magic of SEO audits comes in.
It's like a tune-up for your website's engine.
Exactly. And today, we're taking a deep dive into this process, using explorecalifornia.org as our case study. This website's a gold mine of insights, showing us not just what to do, but also some common pitfalls to dodge.
Right, because just like any health check, it's about identifying both the strengths and weaknesses to make informed improvements.
So think of your Google, right? You're stepping onto this website for the very first time.
Yeah.
What's that initial impression?
It's crucial to see your site through both human eyes and, more importantly, Google's digital lens.
Like slipping on those X-ray vision goggles.
Yeah.
Our source material emphasized this, even going as far as browsing explorecalifornia.org and paying close attention to, get this, image-based navigation.
Ah, yes, because images, while visually appealing to us, can often be a stumbling block for search engines like Google, which primarily feast on text.
It's that whole don't judge a book by its cover thing. But in this case, it's more like don't judge a website by its pretty pictures.
Exactly. Our source then took it a step further, using the site.explorecalifornia.org search on Google.
It's like sneaking a peek behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Seeing what Google actually sees, and guess what? There are a few surprises lurking in the shadows.
Oh, definitely. Pages that ideally shouldn't have been indexed, even some forgotten content graveyards. These oversights can be major red flags.
It's like that time I tried navigating a new city using a map from 1982.
The perfect analogy. And these initial discoveries, much like the technical aspects we'll delve into later, are like breadcrumbs, leading us to a clearer understanding of a site's overall SEO strategy, or sometimes the lack thereof.
And speaking of technical elements, let's pull back the curtain and get into the nitty-gritty. First up, the robots.txt file. Think of this as the gatekeeper of your website.
It's like setting the ground rules for those digital party guests, the search engine crawlers, telling them which areas they can access and, more importantly, which areas are strictly off limits.
So playing by Google's rules, got it. But what happens if there's no robots.txt file inside? Is that like leaving the back door wide open?
Essentially, yes. It's like giving Google a free pass to index everything and anything, which can lead to a whole host of issues. Duplicate content woes, sensitive information ending up in search results, you name it.
Yikes. Talk about a recipe for disaster.
Precisely. It goes back to what we were discussing earlier about organization and clear signals. Without a robots.txt file, you're essentially asking Google to interpret your website with limited guidance, and that can lead to a very confused search engine and even more confused users.
Robots.txt check. Next up, we've got sitemaps, specifically sitemap.xml. These sound a bit friendlier, right? Like a roadmap for Google.
Exactly. Think of it as a blueprint for your website's structure. A sitemap.xml tells Google which pages are important, how they connect, and helps it understand your site's hierarchy, something that doesn't always come naturally to search engine crawlers.
So without it, Google might be missing out on some of your website's hidden gems.
Absolutely. Imagine having this amazing restaurant, but forgetting to list your most popular dish on the menu.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's exactly what explorecalifornia.org is doing. They're missing a sitemap.xml, which is a huge missed opportunity.
Definitely a wrong turn we want to help our listeners avoid. It just goes to show you how these seemingly small technical details can make a world of difference in your website's visibility. And let's face it, in today's mobile-first world, if your website isn't mobile-friendly, you might as well kiss those visitors goodbye.
It's true, mobile optimization is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And Google knows this, which is why they prioritize mobile-friendly websites in search results.
Makes sense. It's like giving a little extra love to the sites that make browsing on the go a breeze.
Exactly, and Google even offers that handy mobile-friendly test tool to help you out.
Which reminds me, our source actually put explorecalifornia.org to the test, and the results were, well, a little unexpected.
Oh, very much so. You see, while the site technically got a passing grade when they looked at the mobile preview, it was a different story. The website looked, well, not so mobile-friendly.
It's a good reminder that even the smartest tools need a human touch to really understand the nuances.
Absolutely. Tools like Google's mobile-friendly test are great for a quick check, but a truly insightful SEO audit requires understanding the human experience.
It's like relying solely on a spell checker for your writing. Sure, it'll catch typos, but it won't make you Shakespeare.
Now you're talking. And speaking of creating a seamless online experience, let's shift gears to site speed because we all know a slow-loading website is the ultimate buzzkill.
Ugh, don't even get me started. Nothing makes me jump ship faster than a website that takes ages to load.
And Google feels the same way. Site speed is a major ranking factor impacting your visibility big time.
It's all about making that good first impression.
Precisely. And that's where Google's Page Speed Insights tool comes in handy. It gives you a performance score and offers tailored recommendations for improvement.
It's like having a personal trainer for your website, pushing you to be your best.
And the best part, it highlights that site speed isn't just about technical jargon, it's about creating a better experience for your visitors.
Everybody wins. Now let's dive into something a tad more technical, shall we? Structured data.
Ah, yes, structured data. It sounds intimidating, but it's actually about making your content more digestible for search engines.
So instead of seeing a jumbled mess of words, Google can understand the meaning behind them.
You got it. Structured data uses schema markup to label different elements on your page.
So for example, you can tell Google, hey, this is my business name over here, and that over there, that's a customer review.
Exactly. It's like giving Google a backstage pass to your website's inner workings.
And our source article highlighted a great example, the New York Times. They use structured data to feed Google key details about their articles, like the title, author, publication, data works.
And that level of detail helps Google categorize and rank content accurately, making sure it ends up in front of the right audience.
It's all about speaking Google's language, and structured data is the interpreter.
And now you're getting it. And you know, ExploreCalifornia.org, with all its amazing attractions and travel info, could really benefit from optimizing their structured data. Imagine adding travel or local business schema to their pages.
Now we're talking. That would make their content so much more discoverable for people searching for California adventures.
Exactly. Small tweaks, big impact, remember. Speaking of which, are you ready to unleash the power of a game-changing SEO tool?
Hit me with it. I'm always up for trying out new SEO tricks.
Get ready to meet Screaming Frog SEO Spider.
Screaming Frog SEO Spider.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a name that definitely sticks with you. Is it as intense as it sounds?
Maybe a little, in a good way, of course. It's a really powerful tool that basically acts like a virtual Googlebot. It crawls through your entire website, every page, every link, just like Google does, and uncovers any hidden issues that might be hurting your rankings.
So it's like giving your website a full-body scan, revealing all those little glitches and gremlins you might have missed.
Precisely. And remember those status codes we talked about? Screaming Frog can quickly pinpoint those pesky 404 errors, you know, those page not found messages that make you want to tear your hair out.
Oh, tell me about it. Nothing kills the mood faster than hitting a dead end when you're exploring a website.
And Google feels the same way. Those 404 errors are like roadblocks for search engine crawlers. They disrupt the flow, create a poor user experience, and ultimately hurt your ranking.
So it's all about paving a clear path for both users and search engines.
Right, and the great thing about Screaming Frog is that it doesn't just point out the problems, it gives you the information you need to fix them. In fact, our source material used it to analyze ExploreCalifornia.org and found a bunch of broken internal links that were leading to, you guessed it, those dreaded 404 errors.
Talk about a quick win. By fixing those broken links, you're not only improving user experience, but also giving Google a clear path to follow.
Exactly. It's all about making those small changes that have a big impact. And speaking of which, Screaming Frog is also amazing for analyzing page titles and meta descriptions.
Yeah, those snippets of text that show up in search results and entice people to click. Any tips on how to make those more effective?
Screaming Frog's got you covered. It can quickly identify duplicate titles and descriptions which confuse search engines and can hurt your ranking. Plus, it can point out if your descriptions are too short, too long, or even missing altogether.
Wow, it's like having a personal SEO assistant, meticulously reviewing every aspect of your website.
I like that. And that's just scratching the surface of what Screaming Frog can do. It analyzes everything from image sizes to URL structure, giving you a complete picture of your website's technical health.
It sounds like Screaming Frog is an essential tool for any website owner who's serious about SEO.
Absolutely. And when you combine it with all the other elements we've discussed today, from those crucial first impressions to mobile optimization and structured data, you'll be well on your way to SEO success.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of SEO audits, what are the key takeaways our listeners should remember?
First and foremost, SEO audits are not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process, constantly tweaking, analyzing, and improving your website to stay ahead of the game.
It's like tending to a garden. You got to keep nurturing it if you want it to thrive.
Exactly. Second, don't be afraid to experiment. The tools and techniques we discussed are a fantastic starting point, but there's always something new to learn and explore in the world of SEO.
And lastly, while tools like Screaming Frog are incredibly valuable, always remember that the human touch is still essential.
Absolutely. Tools can provide the data, but it's up to us to interpret that data and come up with creative solutions to improve our websites.
So to our listeners, we encourage you to embrace the world of SEO audits, experiment with the tools, and never stop learning. Your website will thank you for it.
And who knows, you might even find yourself enjoying the journey. After all, there's nothing quite as satisfying as seeing your website climb those search engine ranks and reach a wider audience.
That's the ultimate reward. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into SEO audits.